Chosen one, if you woke up this morning feeling like God put you in timeout, like he sat you down in a quiet room, locked the door, and walked away, I need you to hear this. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. I'm talking to you, the one whose knees don't work like they used to, the one sitting in a house that used to be filled with noise, kids running, life happening, and now it's just quiet. Too quiet. You thought retirement would feel like freedom, but instead it feels like exile. Your children moved 3 states away. Your friends, gone. Your body, aching. And that one prayer you've been whispering for 20, 30, maybe 40 years, still unanswered. You're tired. Not just physically tired, soul tired. You feel like God put you on the shelf, like your number will never get called. Like you're stuck in heaven's waiting room, watching everyone else walk through the door while you sit and sit and sit. But listen to me closely. What if I told you that this moment, this exact season where everything slowed down, wasn't God forgetting you? What if this silence, this stillness, this forced rest is actually heaven's final preparation before your deepest wish shows up at your door? Tonight, I'm going to show you why God whispered, "Rest while you can, your wish is coming." There's a biblical pattern God only uses with his chosen ones right before a massive breakthrough. I'll reveal it later in this message, but if you leave now, you'll miss the one thing that will make everything you've survived finally make sense. If something in your spirit just stirred, if you felt a witness deep inside, type "I'm listening, Lord" in the comments right now. Let heaven see your agreement. Because, chosen one, you didn't find this message by accident. Your wish is closer than you think. You know what nobody talks about? The weight of waking up every single morning at 5:47 a.m. when you don't have anywhere to be. Your body doesn't let you sleep in anymore. It hasn't for years. You open your eyes before the sun comes up, and the first thing you see is that little orange bottle on the nightstand. Blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, maybe something for your heart. And you think to yourself, is this it? Is this what I've been reduced to? Pills and silence? The house is quiet. Too quiet. You shuffle to the kitchen, make that same cup of coffee you've made 10,000 times, and you sit at that table. The same table where your family used to gather, where your kids used to fight over who got the last piece of toast, where your spouse used to sit across from you, reading the paper, laughing at something stupid on the radio. But now, there's just an empty chair, and the silence is so loud it screams. Your children? They moved to California, or Texas, or somewhere far enough that visiting means once a year if you're lucky. They call on your birthday. Maybe. They text on holidays with a generic, "Thinking of you, Mom," or "Happy Thanksgiving, Dad." And you smile. You say, "I'm fine," but you're not fine. You're lonely. You're forgotten. And deep down, you're wondering if God put you on a shelf and walked away. But here's what's eating at you even more than the loneliness. It's that wish, that one thing you've been praying for since 1978. Since that night in the hospital when you were flat on your back and made a deal with God. Since that little church in Brooklyn where you fell on your knees and begged him for something specific. Since that quiet prayer in the middle of the night when you whispered, "Lord, if you do this one thing, I'll serve you the rest of my life." And you've been faithful. You kept your end of the deal. But God? He's been silent. Maybe your wish is reconciliation with your son, the one who won't talk to you anymore, the one whose name you can't even say without your voice cracking. You want to hold him again. You want to hear him say, "I forgive you," before you leave this earth. Maybe your wish is healing, real healing, not managing symptoms, not learning to live with pain, but waking up one morning and feeling like yourself again, feeling young again, strong again. Maybe your wish is simpler than that. Maybe you just don't want to die alone. Maybe you're terrified that when your time comes, there won't be anyone standing at your bedside, no hand to hold, no voice to whisper, "It's okay. You can go now." And here's the question that's been haunting you in the dark. Lord, did you forget? Did you forget what you promised me? Did my age cancel it out? Did I wait too long? Did I miss my window? Listen to me, chosen one. That question is not doubt. That question is faith holding on by its fingernails. Because if you didn't believe anymore, you wouldn't be asking. If that wish was truly dead, you wouldn't still be carrying it. But it's like an old record player that won't stop spinning. You try to move on. You try to tell yourself, "It's too late now. I'm too old. It's not happening." But the melody of that wish keeps playing in your soul, over and over and over, and you can't turn it off. You know why? Because heaven put that song in you. And what heaven plants, time cannot kill. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says this, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart." Eternity, not just in your future, in your heart, right now. That wish isn't fading because it was never tied to your age. It was tied to God's timing. And here's what you need to understand. The fact that you're still breathing means the promise is still breathing. The fact that you're still here means the story isn't over. God doesn't keep people alive just to watch them fade into irrelevance. He keeps you here because there is still something He intends to finish. You've been asking, why am I still here? Maybe the better question is, what is God waiting for? Because I'm going to tell you something that's going to shake you. There is a specific biblical pattern that God uses only with His chosen ones right before He fulfills a long-delayed promise. And that pattern always starts the same way. It starts with rest. It starts with stillness. It starts with God sitting you down and saying, "Stop striving, stop running, stop trying to make it happen. I need you still so I can move." We're going to unpack that pattern. But not yet. Right now, I need you to do something. If you've been carrying a wish for years, decades maybe, and it's still alive inside you, I don't need you to write it out. I don't need you to explain it. Just type 4 words in the comments. Lord, you know my wish. That's your act of faith tonight. That's you telling heaven, I'm still here. I'm still believing. And I'm ready to see you move. Because chosen one, what you're about to hear next is going to explain why your rest isn't a burial. It's the final stage before resurrection. And your wish? It's closer than it's ever been. Chosen one, I need you to see something that will shatter every lie the enemy has whispered over your life. You think this quiet season means God forgot you. You think your age disqualifies you. You think your slowdown is evidence that your moment has passed. But what if I told you that every single time God is about to fulfill a major promise, He does something first that looks like the exact opposite of breakthrough? He sits His people down, not as punishment, as preparation. Listen to me. Open your Bible to 1 Kings chapter 19. The prophet Elijah, the same man who called down fire from heaven, who shut up the sky for 3 years, who outran chariots, is sitting under a tree in the wilderness, exhausted, broken, ready to die. He says to God, I've had enough. Take my life. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever been so tired you prayed that prayer? Here's what God does. He doesn't rebuke Elijah. He doesn't shame him for being weak. God lets him sleep. Then God feeds him. Then God lets him sleep again, twice, because the next assignment requires strength Elijah doesn't have yet. God sat him down because the journey ahead was too important to attempt with yesterday's strength. Now look at Psalm 23. David writes, He makes me lie down in green pastures. Not He invites me, not He suggests it. He makes me. Why? Because sometimes rest is not optional. Sometimes God has to force us to stop because we've been running on fumes, on pride, on the fumes of old glory, and what's coming next requires fresh oil. Your body didn't betray you, chosen one. Your slowing down is not evidence of decline. It's evidence that God is refilling you for something you've been praying for your entire life. And here's where it gets even deeper. Turn with me to Luke chapter 2. There's an old man named Simeon, 80, maybe 90 years old. He's been waiting in the temple his entire life for one promise, that he would see the Messiah before he died. Year after year, nothing. Decade after decade, silence. His knees gave out. His sight grew dim. His friends died. But the promise didn't. And right next to him, Anna, 84 years old, a widow, alone, fasting, praying, waiting in that same temple. Most people would have called them too old, too late, irrelevant. But God called them strategically positioned. Because the day baby Jesus walked through those temple doors, Simeon's arms, old, trembling, aged arms, were the first human hands to hold the Savior of the world. Anna's voice cracked, worn, but full of fire, was the first to prophesy over him. God didn't give that moment to the young priests. He gave it to the ones who waited, the ones who rested in faith, the ones who looked forgotten but were actually being reserved. Chosen one, do you see the pattern now? God doesn't sit you down because he's done with you. He sits you down because he's not done, and your next step requires a strength, a clarity, a holy alignment you don't have yet. You think your quiet house means your purpose is over, but what if God cleared the noise so you could finally hear the instructions for what's next? You think your aching body means you're too old, but what if God is slowing you down so you don't rush past the very thing you've been praying for? You think your friends moving away, your energy fading, your schedule emptying out means you've been forgotten. But what if God is isolating you, not to punish you, but to prepare you for an encounter so sacred, so specific, so personal, that it requires you to be alone with him first? In a few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how your deepest wish, the one you've been carrying for decades, is directly connected to this same pattern God used with Elijah, with Anna, with Simeon. And when you see it, it will change how you see your age, your rest, your waiting, forever. But right now, I need you to let this sink in. What if your slowing down is not about decline, but about alignment? What if the reason you can't run like you used to is because God is teaching you to stand like you never have? What if the reason your schedule is empty is because God is about to fill it with something so weighty, so glorious, that everything else had to be cleared out first? Think about a construction zone. You've seen them all over New York. The building's almost done, but right before the grand opening, they block everything off. It looks like nothing's happening. The lights are off. The doors are locked. People walk by and think it's abandoned. But inside, workers are finishing the most important details. The final inspections, the last touches, the things that make the building safe to open. Chosen one, that's where you are right now. Heaven has blocked off the noise, locked the door, dimmed the lights. And while it looks like nothing is happening, God is finishing the final details inside you so that when your wish walks through that door, you'll be ready to carry it without collapsing. So let me ask you this, and I want you to answer honestly, even if it's just in your heart. What if this rest you're in right now is not the end of your story, but the final chapter before your breakthrough? Hold that thought, because what I'm about to show you next will prove it beyond any doubt. Chosen one, I need to destroy a lie that's been eating at you for years. The enemy has been whispering in your ear every single morning. He's been telling you, you missed your chance. You're too old. You're just sitting here waiting to die. God moved on without you. But I'm here to tell you tonight that is a demonic lie, straight from the pit of hell. Heaven is not whispering that over you. Heaven is saying something completely different. Heaven is saying, I sat you down so you wouldn't miss what's coming. Listen to me closely. You think God benched you. You think He put you on the shelf because your best days are behind you. You think this quiet season, this forced rest, is punishment for something you did or didn't do. But what if God didn't sideline you? What if He's preserving you? Let me ask you something. How many health scares have you survived that should have taken you out? That heart attack the doctors said you wouldn't recover from, but you did. That surgery they said was risky at your age, but you woke up. That depression that almost swallowed you whole in 2008, 2015, or last year, but somehow you're still here. You think those were coincidences? You think you made it through by sheer luck? No. You were preserved. You were protected. You were kept because there's something ahead that requires you to still be breathing. Heaven has been blocking every attack, every scheme, every plan of the enemy designed to take you out early. Because your wish, the one you've been praying for, cannot manifest without you still standing. And I know what you're thinking, but I'm tired. My body is breaking down. My mind isn't as sharp. I can't do what I used to do. Good, because what's coming doesn't require your strength. It requires God's strength working through your weakness. It doesn't require your youth. It requires your endurance. It doesn't require your energy. It requires your faith that refused to die, even when everything around you did. You survived betrayals that should have destroyed your ability to trust. You survived losses that should have stolen your hope. You survived disappointments that should have made you bitter, but you didn't break. You bent, but you didn't shatter. That wasn't weakness. That was divine preservation. Think about it. How many times did you almost walk away from God? How many nights did you sit in the dark ready to give up? How many mornings did you wake up and think, I can't do this anymore? But something kept pulling you back. Something kept whispering, not yet, hold on, just a little longer. That was heaven refusing to let you go. That was the Father saying, I'm not done with you yet. Now here's what the enemy doesn't want you to understand. There's a reason your wish didn't come in your 30 seconds. There's a reason it didn't show up in your 40 seconds or even your 50 seconds. There was something about your 60 seconds, your 70 seconds, even your 80 seconds that God needed. You couldn't carry what's coming when you were younger. You didn't have the depth. You didn't have the scars. You didn't have the kind of faith that only comes from surviving decades of waiting, decades of silence, decades of saying yes to God when nothing made sense. The Bible tells us in Psalm 92:14, they will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and green. Did you catch that? In old age. Not despite old age. In old age. God said you will bear fruit precisely because you've lived long enough to be seasoned, matured, slow-cooked in trials. You are not a leftover chosen one. You are a slow-cooked promise. Let me paint you a picture. You ever marinate meat? You don't just throw it on the grill fresh. You let it sit. You let it soak. You let it absorb every ounce of flavor, every spice, every ingredient. And the longer it sits, the better it tastes. It wasn't forgotten in that bowl. It was being prepared. That's you. You've been soaking in trials, sitting in silence, marinating in prayers, absorbing every lesson God needed you to learn. And now you're about to be served, not raw, not bland, but rich, full of flavor, fully prepared for the assignment heaven has been holding for you. Some of you right now feel like you've been sitting too long, like the bowl got pushed to the back of the refrigerator and forgotten. But God doesn't forget. He's been checking on you. He's been adding ingredients. He's been turning you over, making sure every part of you is soaked in His presence, His wisdom, His timing. And here's the part that's going to wreck you. Your wish has been marinating too. It's been sitting in heaven's kitchen, being prepared, seasoned, perfected, so that when it finally reaches you, it won't just satisfy you, it will overflow you. If you believe, even if you don't fully see it yet, that you are still here for a reason, I want you to type in the comments right now, I am preserved for a purpose. Say it out loud if you have to. Let heaven hear your agreement. Let the enemy know you're done believing his lies. You're done thinking you're too old, too late, too forgotten. Because, chosen one, the truth is this: God didn't sit you down to discard you. He sat you down to protect what's about to be released. And what's coming next will show you exactly why you had to rest first. Chosen one, let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself right now. What is the one thing you stopped praying for out loud? Not the surface prayers. Not the bless my family or give me strength kind of prayers. I'm talking about that one wish, the one you whispered in the dark when no one was listening, the one you used to cry about, but now you just carry in silence because saying it out loud hurts too much. For some of you, your wish has nothing to do with money. It's not about a bigger house or a nicer car. Your wish is a phone call, a specific voice on the other end of the line saying, "Mom, I'm coming home." Your wish is seeing that one child walk back through the door, the one who left angry and never came back. Your wish is reconciliation with someone who wrote you off. Your wish is leaving this world knowing you did not waste your life. You know exactly what I'm talking about because your chest just tightened. That wish has been sitting in your heart so long it feels like part of your bones now. You've carried it through birthdays, through holidays, through quiet Sunday mornings when everyone else seemed blessed, and you sat there wondering why God kept saying no to you. You've had birthdays where you blew out the candles and whispered, "Maybe this year." And then the smoke cleared, the cake was gone, and nothing changed. Year after year after year, until eventually you stopped asking. You didn't stop believing in God, you just stopped believing He was going to answer that one. And here's what breaks my heart. You thought stopping the prayer would stop the pain, but it didn't. Because deep down, that wish is still alive. It's quieter now, buried, but it hasn't died. Let me tell you something that might shock you. God is not offended by your wish. He didn't get frustrated when you kept asking. He didn't roll his eyes when you came back again and again with the same request. He didn't mock you with that desire. In fact, He's the one who planted it. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Now listen carefully. It doesn't say He will give you a desire. It says He gives you the desires, meaning God Himself placed certain longings inside you. That wish you carry, heaven put it there. So why hasn't it happened yet? Why has it taken so long that you've grown old waiting? Why did your knees give out before the answer showed up? Why did your hair turn gray while that prayer sat unanswered? Because God doesn't just answer wishes, He prepares you to receive them. And sometimes, chosen one, the preparation takes longer than the promise. Think about it. Your wish is like a letter you wrote years ago and tucked inside a drawer. You forgot the exact words. The ink faded. But heaven didn't forget. God has been holding that letter in His hands this entire time, reading it, memorizing it, planning the exact moment to respond in a way that won't just give you what you asked for, but what your soul truly needs. You wanted the phone call. God might be preparing the reunion. You wanted the apology. God might be orchestrating the healing. You wanted the one thing. God might be preparing the breakthrough that includes 10 other things you didn't even know to ask for. Here's the part that's going to mess you up. God often answers wishes in ways that look nothing like what we imagined, but still satisfy what our soul really asked for. Abraham wanted a son. God gave him nations. Hannah wanted a baby. God gave her a prophet who would change Israel's destiny. David wanted to build God a house. God said no, but promised to build David's house into an eternal throne. Do you see the pattern? God doesn't just answer wishes, He multiplies them. He doesn't just meet the request, He exceeds it in ways that make you look back and say, if I had gotten what I originally asked for, I would have missed what He was really preparing. But here's the tension. Here's why this season has been so hard. You're in the waiting room, and waiting feels like punishment. It feels like you're being ignored, like you got put on the shelf while everyone else moved forward, like heaven forgot to call your number. But what if I told you that this quiet, this forced rest, this season where everything slowed down is not God's rejection? What if this is the final stage before the answer arrives? Because here's what I've learned in 50 years of watching God move. The closer you get to breakthrough, the quieter it gets. Right before the Red Sea split, there was silence. Right before the walls of Jericho fell, there was a long, silent march. Right before Lazarus walked out of the tomb, there were 4 days of absolute silence, while Mary and Martha wept and wondered where Jesus was. Silence doesn't mean absence. Silence means preparation. And right now, chosen one, God is preparing something so precise, so perfectly timed, that if it came 1 day earlier, you wouldn't be ready to hold it. If it came 1 day later, the door would have closed. So, let me ask you again, what is the wish you stopped praying out loud? Don't be afraid to name it in your spirit right now. Don't be ashamed that you still want it after all these years. God hasn't forgotten. He's been carrying it this whole time. And if you're brave enough, if there's even a flicker of faith left in you, I want you to type these words in the comments. Lord, I still believe you see my wish. That's not begging. That's not desperation. That's trust. That's you telling heaven, I'm still here. I'm still believing. And I'm ready to receive what you've been preparing. Because, chosen one, the wish you've been carrying in silence, it's about to speak. And when it does, you'll finally understand why the wait was worth it. Chosen one, I need you to lean in right now, because what I'm about to tell you is going to flip everything you thought you knew about this season. You think you're sitting still because God forgot about you. You think the quiet means He moved on. You think the slowdown is punishment for something you did or didn't do. But what if I told you that rest is not the absence of God's movement? What if rest is the final stage before heaven releases everything you've been praying for? Let me show you something they don't teach in Sunday school. There's a pattern in Scripture that God only uses with His chosen ones right before a major breakthrough. And once you see it, you'll never look at your current season the same way again. Look at Elijah. This man called down fire from heaven. He shut the sky for 3.5 years. He outran chariots. He was a prophet on fire. But then, after his greatest victory, what did God do? He told him to rest. 1 Kings 19. God sent an angel to feed him, told him to sleep, twice. And it was only after Elijah rested that God gave him his next assignment. The rest wasn't the end of his ministry. It was the preparation for the next level. Now look at Anna and Simeon, Luke 2. These were old saints, tired bodies, aching bones. Everyone around them had moved on with life, but they stayed in the temple, quiet, waiting, worshipping, resting in expectation. And what happened? In their old age, when everyone thought their story was over, they held the Messiah in their arms. They saw what kings and prophets longed to see. Their rest wasn't retirement, it was positioning. And here's the one that should shake you, Jesus Himself. Mark 4. He's in a boat with His disciples. A storm is raging. Waves are crashing. The disciples are panicking. And where is Jesus? Asleep, resting. Not because He didn't care, not because He was oblivious, He rested because he knew what was about to happen. And when he woke up, he spoke 3 words that changed the atmosphere. Peace, be still. The storm didn't just calm down, it obeyed instantly. Do you see the pattern? When God is about to release something massive, he calms the noise around his chosen one. Your phone stops ringing. The invitations slow down. The crowd disappears. The activity dies down, and you think something's wrong. But chosen one, nothing is wrong. God is clearing the room so you can hear the sound of your answer approaching. Listen to me carefully. You're not forgotten. You're not sidelined. You're not washed up. You are in the final holding pattern before heaven opens the floodgates. Think about Grand Central Terminal here in New York. You ever stand on that platform waiting for the train? There's a moment right before it arrives when everything goes still, the noise quiets, the crowd holds its breath, and then you feel it. The wind shifts, the air moves, and you know before you even see it, the train is here. That's your life right now. Your rest is not retirement, it's rehearsal. Heaven is moving while you're sitting. God didn't put you in this quiet season to waste you. He put you here to prepare you. Because what he's about to release into your life is so big, so powerful, so life-altering, that if you weren't rested, it would break you. You've been praying for this wish for decades. You've cried over it. You've fasted. You've begged. You've almost given up on it 100 times. And now, right when you thought it was never going to happen, God whispers, rest while you can. Because chosen one, when your wish shows up, you're going to need every ounce of strength you have left. This is not the time to panic. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to think God abandoned you because the noise stopped. The noise stopped because God is about to speak. And when God speaks, everything else has to be silent. Your body may be tired, but your spirit knows something is coming. That's why you can't let go of that one prayer. That's why you still believe, even when it doesn't make sense. That's why you're watching this message right now. Heaven didn't bring you this far to leave you here. The prophet Isaiah said it in chapter 40, verse 31. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Wait doesn't mean sit around doing nothing. Wait means rest in expectation. Rest with your ears open. Rest with your faith steady. Rest knowing that the God who started this story is about to finish it in glory. So, here's what I need you to understand. This rest you're in right now, it's not random. It's not accidental. It's not punishment. It's the last step before release. But here's the critical part. And don't go anywhere, because this might be the most important thing I say tonight. There's a right way to rest and a wrong way to rest. And if you rest the wrong way, you can miss what's coming, even though it's right at your door. In the next section, I'm going to show you exactly how to rest the way heaven intended, so that when your wish arrives, you're ready to receive it with both hands wide open. Because chosen one, your wish is not just coming, it's almost here. Chosen one, I need you to understand something that most preachers won't tell you. Rest is not the same as quitting. And right now, the enemy is whispering in your ear that they're the same thing. He's telling you that sitting still means you've given up, that slowing down means you've lost, that this quiet season is proof God moved on without you. That's a lie straight from hell. Let me show you the difference, because your eternity might depend on it. Quitting is when you close your heart, when bitterness hardens like concrete in your chest, when you stop praying because you're convinced God stopped listening, when you isolate yourself, turn off the phone and tell yourself, I'm done hoping. That's quitting. Rest is different. Rest is when you say, Lord, I don't understand this season, but I trust you. Rest is when your body is still, but your spirit stays awake. Rest is when you stop striving and start surrendering. Rest is worship in the waiting room. And here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know. Rest is the most dangerous weapon you can wield against him. Because when you rest in God, you're telling the devil, I don't need to see it to believe it. I don't need to control it to trust it. My God is moving, even when I'm sitting still. That terrifies him. Now, let me get practical with you, because I'm not here to just make you feel good. I'm here to equip you. If you're in this resting season, here's what you need to do. First, start your day with one simple prayer. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to sound religious. Just say this: Lord, I rest in you. I'm here when you're ready. That's it. 10 seconds. But those 10 seconds tell heaven, I'm not quitting. I'm not shutting down. I'm available. You see, God doesn't need your strength right now. He needs your availability. And when you say, I'm here, you're keeping the line open between you and the throne room. Second, read one psalm a day. Just one. I know your eyes get tired. I know the print is small. But open that Bible to the Psalms and read one. Start with Psalm 27. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Let David's words become your words. Let his desperation become your prayer. Because David knew what it felt like to hide in caves, to run for his life, to wonder if God forgot his name. And God still called him a man after his own heart. Third, read one story from the Gospels every day. Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Pick one story about Jesus. Maybe it's the woman who touched his robe. Maybe it's the blind man who wouldn't stop shouting. Maybe it's Lazarus walking out of the tomb after 4 days dead. Read it slowly. Picture it. Put yourself in it. Because those stories aren't ancient history, chosen one. They're prophecies about what God is about to do in your life. Fourth, speak blessing over your family by name, even if they're far away, even if they don't call. Say their names out loud and say, Lord, I bless them, cover them, keep them. You think that's small. That's priestly authority. You're standing in the gap. You're releasing heaven's power over bloodlines. And when God moves in their lives, it will be because you prayed when no one was watching. Now, here's what I need you to hear. A phone is useless if it never sits still long enough to charge. You can have the most expensive phone in the world, but if the battery's dead, it's just a piece of glass and metal. Rest is where heaven plugs you back into the source. You've been running on fumes for years, decades maybe, and God sat you down not to punish you but to recharge you for what's coming. Because sometimes God does more in one suddenly than in 30 years of struggle. Let me say that again. Sometimes God does more in one suddenly than in 30 years of struggle. Abraham waited 25 years for Isaac. But when Isaac came, he came suddenly. One moment Sarah was barren. The next moment she was laughing with a baby in her arms. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness. But when God showed up in that burning bush, everything changed in one conversation. The disciples fished all night and caught nothing. But when Jesus said, "Throw your net on the other side," suddenly the nets were breaking from the weight. Chosen one, you've been waiting for years. But what if your suddenly is forming right now in the invisible realm? What if heaven is about to release in one moment what you couldn't produce in a lifetime of effort? That's why you need to rest without giving up. That's why you need to stay plugged in. That's why you need to keep your heart soft, your spirit available, and your eyes open. Because when your suddenly shows up, you need to be ready to receive it. So here's what I want you to do right now. In the comments, write one small habit you will start this week to rest in God. Maybe it's, I will thank you before I sleep. Maybe it's, I will read one psalm. Maybe it's, I will speak my children's names in blessing. Type it below. This isn't just a comment. This is you agreeing with heaven's plan, because when you declare it, you activate it. And chosen one, your wish isn't just coming, it's already on its way. Chosen one, let me tell you something most preachers won't say out loud. When God finally answers a prayer you've been praying for decades, it rarely shows up the way you pictured it. And that's not cruelty, that's mercy. Because God doesn't just answer prayers, He corrects them. You've been asking for one thing, but heaven heard the cry beneath the words. You asked for money, but what you really needed was peace. You asked for reconciliation, but what your soul was starving for was closure. You asked for healing in your body, but God knew the deeper wound was in your heart. And now, after all these years of silence, after all these years of waiting in that quiet room, your wish is beginning to knock on the door. But it's not coming in the package you expected. Let me paint this for you. There was a woman in Brooklyn, 73 years old, lived alone in a rent-controlled apartment on the 4th floor, no elevator. Her knees screamed every time she climbed those stairs. Her son hadn't called in 20 years. 20 years. She prayed every single night, Lord, let him call. Let him just say he's okay. One Tuesday afternoon, her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. But something in her spirit said, pick it up. It was him. He didn't apologize. He didn't explain where he'd been. But he said 4 words that cracked her chest wide open. Mom, I need you. That was it. That was the wish. Not the reconciliation she rehearsed in her mind. Not the tearful apology she imagined. Just 4 words that told her she still mattered, that her life wasn't finished, that God had been holding that moment in His hand, waiting for the exact second when her heart could receive it without breaking. Chosen one, do you see what I'm saying? Your wish isn't late, it's right on time. Let me give you another one. There was a grandfather in Queens, 81 years old, worked construction his whole life, hands like leather, never made much money, never traveled, never did anything the world would call successful. He sat in his recliner one Sunday afternoon, staring at the wall, thinking, I didn't leave anything behind. My life didn't matter. Then his granddaughter, 16 years old, walked into the room, sat down next to him, and out of nowhere she said, Pop, Pop, you know why I'm not afraid to pray? Because I watched you. You're the reason I know Jesus is real. That old man cried for 20 minutes, because in that one sentence, God answered a prayer he didn't even know he was praying. He thought his wish was to be remembered, but his real wish, the one buried deep in his soul, was to know his life had weight, that it counted, that it mattered to someone beyond himself. And God gave it to him, not in a mansion, not in applause, but in the eyes of a teenage girl who saw him as a giant. Chosen one, listen to me. God's answers don't always look like answers. Sometimes they look like whispers. Sometimes they look like coincidences that aren't coincidences at all. Sometimes they look like small moments that carry the weight of eternity. Here's what I need you to understand. You were expecting a letter, maybe a small envelope with a yes or no inside. But God is sending you a package, a box with your name handwritten on it. And when it arrives, when you finally open it, you're going to realize it contains everything you needed but didn't know how to ask for. Proverbs 13:12 says, Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. You've been heartsick for years, decades maybe, but that sickness wasn't pointless. It was preparation. Because when your wish finally arrives, when that longing is fulfilled, it won't just bring relief. It will bring life, new life, the kind that spreads roots deep and bears fruit you didn't plant. And here's the mystery most people miss. Sometimes the wish God answers isn't the one you prayed out loud. It's the one you buried so deep you forgot it was there. The wish for peace, the wish to feel seen, The wish to know you weren't forgotten. The wish to believe your suffering had purpose. Chosen one. Your wish may not arrive in the package you pictured, but it will arrive carrying the peace, the closure, the joy you've been craving. It will show up in a phone call, in a letter, in a grandchild's eyes, in a sudden release of bitterness you've carried for 30 years, in a dream that finally makes sense, in a body that suddenly feels lighter even though nothing physically changed. And when it does, you'll look back at all those years in the quiet room and whisper, "Oh, that's why I had to wait, because I wasn't ready to hold this yet." If you're still with me right now, if your heart is pounding and something in your spirit is saying, "This is for me," then do this. Type in the comments, "Lord, surprise me your way." That's you giving God permission to answer above your understanding. That's you saying, "I don't need it to look like I pictured. I just need it to be real." Because, chosen one, the knock is coming. And when you open that door, you're going to see that heaven didn't forget your address. It was just waiting for the perfect delivery time. Chosen one, let me tell you something the enemy has been lying to you about for years. Your age is not a disqualification. It is your credential. Look at your hands right now. Go ahead, look at them. Those wrinkles, those age spots, those veins showing through thin skin, those are not signs of failure. Those are battle scars. Every line on your hand is a prayer you fought through. Every scar is a testimony you survived. Every tremor is proof you held on when letting go would have been easier. You have lived through wars this generation will never understand. You survived recessions that broke families. You buried people you loved. You stood in hospital rooms at 3 a.m., wondering if God was still listening. You endured betrayals that should have destroyed you. You carried weight that would have crushed someone half your age. And yet here you are, still breathing, still believing, still whispering that one wish into the darkness. Do you understand what that makes you? Dangerous. The enemy wants you to think you're finished. He wants you to believe that because your body slowed down, your purpose died with it. He whispers, "You're too old. You're too tired. You missed your window." But that is a lie straight from the pit of hell. Your body may be resting, but your spirit is roaring. Your knees may be weak, but your faith is iron. Your memory may falter, but heaven has not forgotten a single prayer you prayed. Listen to me. Caleb was 85 years old when he said, "Give me this mountain." 85. Not 25, not 45, 85. And God gave it to him. Moses was 80 when God called him to lead a nation out of bondage. Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born. 100. So do not let the world tell you that your best days are behind you. Do not let culture tell you that rest means retirement from purpose. Do not let the mirror convince you that because your body is aging, your destiny is dying. From the back, your life looks like tangled threads, broken pieces, random pain, unanswered questions. But from heaven's side, chosen one, it is a masterpiece coming together. Every thread has purpose, every knot has meaning. And God is not finished weaving. You think your wish is about you, but what if it is bigger than you? What if your breakthrough is meant to unlock the next generation? What if the prayer you have been praying for 40 years is not just for your healing, your provision, your vindication, but for your child, your grandchild, someone you have never even met who will hear your story and believe again? What if your rest right now is God positioning you to be the answer someone else has been praying for? You are not at the end of your story. You are at the sacred chapter where heaven ties every loose thread together. This is the chapter where confusion becomes clarity, where delay becomes divine timing, where the impossible bows its knee and whispers, "It is finished." God sat you down not to sideline you, but to set you up. He slowed you down not to stop you, but to align you. He quieted your world not to silence you, but to prepare the stage for the loudest testimony you have ever given. Your wish is not dead. It is resting, just like you. And when it wakes up, chosen one, it will not come quietly. It will come with the roar of heaven behind it. So lift your head, straighten your back, let the tears fall if they need to, but know this, those tears are watering the seed of your miracle. In just a moment, I am going to pray over you specifically, over your wish, over your rest, over this final sacred season. Do not leave before we seal this together, because what God is about to release over your life in the next 60 seconds will shift everything. Are you ready? Chosen one. We've walked a long road together tonight, and before you close this video, before you go back to that quiet house, before you lay your head down on that pillow and wonder if anything I said was real, I need you to do something with me right now. Place your hand over your heart. Go ahead, do it now. Feel that heartbeat. That's not random. That's divine rhythm. That's God saying, "You're still here because I'm not finished." Now whisper it. That wish, the one you've carried for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. The one you stopped saying out loud because people told you to let it go. The one that feels foolish at your age. Whisper it, just between you and God. He hears you. Let's pray. Father, Ancient of Days, God who sees the end from the beginning, I come before you tonight on behalf of every soul hearing this word. Lord, they are tired, you know it. Their bodies ache, their hearts are heavy, their hope has been stretched thin like fabric worn from too many years of waiting. But God, I thank you that you kept them alive. You didn't let them die in the desert. You didn't let them give up in the valley. You sustained them through loss, through betrayal, through silence, through pain. And if you kept them breathing this long, it's because the story isn't over. So right now, I ask you to give them deep rest, not the rest of giving up, the rest of surrender. Rest in their bones, rest in their minds, rest in their anxious hearts that have carried too much for too long. Let them sleep tonight, knowing you are awake. Let them exhale, knowing you are still in control. And Lord, I ask you to move in ways that fulfill the core of their wish, not their way, but your way. Not their timing, but your perfect timing. If reconciliation is what they need, bring it. If provision is what they lack, release it. Release it. If peace is what's been stolen, restore it. God, surprise them, shock them with your goodness in ways they never imagined. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now hear me, chosen one. This is not a wish. This is a word from the Lord. I declare over you right now, you will not leave this earth empty-handed. You will not close your eyes for the last time without tasting the goodness of God. Psalm 103:5 says, He satisfies your desires with good things so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. That's not poetry. That's prophecy over your life. You think you're too old? God is about to prove you wrong. You think it's too late? Heaven doesn't operate on your clock. You think you missed your moment? Listen, the same God who gave Sarah a baby at 90, the same God who made Moses a deliverer at 80, the same God who used Anna the prophetess in her final years to witness the Messiah, that same God is still writing your story. This is not the end. This is the reset. The sun setting doesn't mean the day failed. It means God is painting your evening sky with colors you've never seen. He's finishing you beautifully. And what's coming in this next chapter will make every tear you cried worth it. But here's what I need you to understand. Rest doesn't mean nothing is happening. Rest means heaven is moving on your behalf while you sleep. Rest means the angels are working the night shift. Rest means God is rearranging circumstances, softening hearts, opening doors, and aligning moments you can't even see yet. So, rest, chosen one, not because you're giving up, but because you're gearing up. Your wish is not dead. It's in the hands of the God who specializes in resurrections. Now listen carefully. If this word reached down into the deepest part of your soul, if something inside you just came alive again, I need you to type in the comments right now, Amen. I receive this rest and this promise. Don't just think it, type it. Let your fingers agree with your faith, because when you declare it, you activate it. And if you know a mother, a father, a grandfather, a grandmother who is sitting in that quiet room wondering if God forgot them, send them this video. Don't let them go one more night believing the lie that it's over. This message could be the thing that breathes hope back into their chest. Here's what I know. You didn't stumble onto this video. Heaven led you here. And if heaven led you here tonight, heaven is not done with you. So, stay with this community of chosen ones. We're walking this journey together. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, because I'm going to keep speaking life, keep declaring truth, and keep reminding you that your story is not finished. Chosen one, rest while you can, not because nothing is happening, but because heaven is already on the move. And your name is written on the next chapter. Go in peace tonight, sleep well, and wake up expectant, because your wish is closer than you think.